One issue that I've seen come up in practice with a lot of previous models for game that I want to really avoid you running into is the idea that because I'm giving you sort of waypoints or like, you know, first do this, then do this, then do this, and it sort of divides the interaction up into phases. I do want to point out that your behavior from one phase to the next, it does vary a bit, but it's not drastically different. And it's certainly not any kind of 180-degree shift. So, for example, there will be certain phases where there's more of an emphasis on teasing and being very high value. There will be certain phases where perhaps there's more of an emphasis in kind of building more of a connection and letting the girl get to know you. That doesn't mean that during that high value phase you're not building any connection at all, and it doesn't mean that when you're in that like building more comfort kind of phase that you're completely dropping the teasing and you're just being like, you know, this little like wet blanket. Okay, so understand that there's a basic way of acting throughout everything, which is being an attractive man, right? And understand that there's a general progression that's occurring at all times. There is a physical progression with how much you're touching the girl and how you're touching the girl. There is an emotional connection with how close you are in terms of the topics you're talking about, and also in terms of like how you're addressing the existing relationship. There's a logistical escalation in terms of are you getting closer and closer and closer to a bedroom or a place where sex can happen. So there's all these different things going on, and they really are continuous. I don't want you to think of them as these like polar shifts where you have to change who you are from one place to the next. Generally think of it as the majority of game is understanding what are attractive qualities and executing those attractive qualities, and then from there you need to adjust a little bit here and there to make sure you're hitting milestones, make sure you're hitting waypoints. A lot of times by being attractive, the milestones and waypoints will be hit for you because the girl will be eager enough to make them happen, and the girl will be enough of a participant that they'll just happen organically and you won't even have to think about them. But when that doesn't happen, when you do have to think about them, if you don't know those phases, if you don't know the next step, and if you don't have a game plan, you're really going to be stuck. Okay, so the majority of your focus should be on being there, present with the girl, being an attractive person and conveying your best personality. And then occasionally, you'll sort of like take into account the model and ask yourself, where am I at? Where do I want to go? How should I get there? And then go right back to being present with the girl, being your best self, and then check back in later, all right? But don't think of the model as controlling your every movement and instinct. Also, don't think of the model as making you like so robotic you can't be yourself. Generally, what you want to do is be your best self and then use the model as an enhancement whenever things aren't naturally going the way that you would like them to.